All right, it's district breakdown time. We are talking 5-6A with my main man, Matt Diggs, the professor, and we are speaking on a district that I feel like out of almost nowhere, McKinney has shot up through the ranks. Everybody's talking about him in the offseason. And tell me, is McKinney the team that's going to pass up Geyer and Allen and win this district? You talk to me, Diggsy, please.
I know you saw the spring rankings, and one of the things that people were really questioning about, nobody was really complaining about Duncanville 1 and DeSoto 2, but people started looking at Louisville 3, and that's a little bit of a spoiler for next week, and McKinney 4, and they're like, Diggs, what are you thinking about? But when you look at McKinney's roster, it is not only loaded, but it is loaded with people we're going to be seeing on Saturday, and possibly a few we're going to be seeing on Sunday. And every other team has the pedigree. You've got some good teams. It's not like Denton Guyer has fallen off the face of the earth. It's not like Allen has fallen off the face of this earth. But doing the research for this district, it's almost turned into a mini transfer portal. I mean, this is the district that people want to come or leave, or back and forth. It is kind of a crazy talk as far as that goes. But McKinney has been building up talent. You could see a couple of years ago that McKinney had a very good core of sophomores. Man, we talked about Brian Jackson last year and all of that talent and the number one running back. And he's lost a little bit of that number one running back. I know some places call Taylor Tatum. You can look when you're dicing up highlights, you can pick from a number of highlights because this is a very special player. They got a transfer quarterback and God's Power, Newuhi, the MVP of District 9-6A, is stepping into District 5-6A to potentially take the reins at McKinney. And they had a pretty good quarterback as well. I think Owen Fan was his name, who was kind of expected to be a senior. So they've got some depth at quarterback. Then you look at their defensive side of the ball. They've got three or four really good players, and Zadrian Gentry, Riley Pettijohn, Xavier Filsamy, and we talked about Maki Frazier, how he can play both ways. But Ward, we talk about to be the man, you got to beat the man. McKinney has got to learn how to win. I mean, it's not like you looked at McKinney last year and they were knocking off Allen, they were knocking off Denton Guyer. I think probably their best win was knocking off those Coppell haters in the first round for me and taking Coppell out of the first round. But I'm a little bit nervous about McKinney and their ability to win these games. Can they beat the teams? Because they haven't yet. I'm going to say yes just because of sheer talent, but I'm a little skeptical. I think when you look at this, there's going to be a lot of debate about this, and with very good reason.
Yeah, it's a hard yes for you as far as, a soft yes for you for being a district winner for McKinney. And that's because Geyer is coming back with man, they're still shaking off. They took a shot in the mouth last fall from DeSoto, and they're still trying to shake that thing off. And they've lost a lot of seniors. I know Eli Bowen's coming back, but talk about how they're looking to shake that thing off and make some moves here.
I talked about last year in our district breakdown, and I'm always skeptical about the first year of a coach. Even if you've got a good program, there's just that something about the first year. You got to get to that second and third year. But when you're building a program, it takes a little bit of consistency. So Geyer might be even a little bit more scary this year, even though they don't have Jackson Arnold and Peyton Bowen and some of those talented players. They still got a lot coming back you have to keep an eye on. Trey Joyner is a very special running back, and they've got him coming back as well. Logan McLaughlin doesn't have those eye-popping offers already, but he's going to be a pretty solid quarterback over there at Denton Geyer. They got Haziah Martin coming back at wide receiver. Geyer's got a lot of good talent. When you look at the defensive side of the ball, they are really big and they've got a lot of good size. They've got the players. It's just going to be, do they have the talent to score?
All right, Dixie, we've been going 5 minutes and we still haven't talked Allen, the most populated school out there. Talk to me about the players that they have coming back, because they do have some talent, and they want to fight with Geyer and McKinney too to get that top spot back.
Yeah, Allen, they've been hit hard by the transfer portal. We talked about how that in 5-6A, there's been a lot of movement in and out, and I still think there's still movement in and out. We're still trying to figure out. But I mean, they're going when you have 7,000 students in the school, you're going to have talent. And Kavion Sibley is a running back that you can really put some carries on him, and they might need him to carry the load. But you might see some old school smash mouth football with Allen. Who's going to be quarterback? I think that's going to be up to they've had 2 transfers in the last little bit of time, a lot of good competition. They're going to have the talent. It's just going to be who's going to step into those roles. And the defensive end, Zena Omiozulu, obviously is going to be a disruptor on the defensive side of the ball. And again, I'm not really worried about the defensive side of the ball or the lines. It's going to be those skill players. Who's going to be that strong safety? Who's going to be that game-changing quarterback? And they're going to have it, but there are still some questions about Allen. But depth is not an issue for Allen. They're going to have a lot of players. It's just going to be who's going to step up and fill those roles. Prosper's got a lot of the same questions at number 4. Their coach left, and Tyler Moore is the new head coach over there. So it's kind of like we talked about with Geyer earlier. Who's going to fill those roles? Who's going to come in? How is that program going to continue? And they've had a couple of quarterback issues. But Braden Imhoff is who I'm expecting to step in at quarterback. He was a freshman this year. He's going to be stepping in as a sophomore. Again, we talk about the offensive line. Prosper is going to have that really good offensive line in Ellis Davis, who's just an absolute stud, 6'7", 260 pounds, the kind of kid who you might be seeing playing on Sunday. Just all the talent in the world. Zach Manning, another talented freshman. But with Walnut Grove opening, this has been taking a toll on all the Prosper ISD schools. You're starting to see some transfers out of Prosper ISD, and a lot of people are going over to Walnut Grove thinking, hey, maybe we can get started over there and get some looks. So I'm very curious about how Prosper is going to step up. But how can you take a team that made it to the state semifinals and say, yeah, we're going to completely dismiss them? Obviously, Prosper is a team we're going to keep an eye on this year as well. But big changes in Rock Hill, obviously, in the last little bit. Kevin Sperry, who was stopped at lead Rock Hill, is transferred to an Oklahoma school. But Victor Chionuma is a really good running back that they still got coming back. And Jonah Bowman has exploded in 7-on-7 season. The linebacker's gotten 20 big offers. I think Rock Hill is still going to be competitive for that 4th spot, but it's going to be how far have Allen and Prosper fallen back to the pack with what they've got going on. And Rock Hill has taken a little bit of a step back. So you're looking at the other teams in the district who are looking, hey, maybe we have a chance to now compete for a playoff spot.
Talk about the other 3 teams in the district and where you think they might fall out.
Yeah, I think McKinney Boyd has the best chance to compete with Prosper and Rock Hill to maybe get into that 4th spot. They've got quarterback Nick Weslowski is expected to be the quarterback. Tyler Wall, a very talented running back they've got coming back. I think the bottom of the district, these were teams that were competitive last year. At least on paper, I think they're going to be at the bottom tier of this district. Denton Braswell, I've got on the lower tier of the district. Drove out there by there yesterday at Oak Point and Crossroads, and they're building. That's a beautiful campus over there at Denton Braswell. But they've graduated just about everybody. They've got a nose guard who is a very talented, and Iola Olawu Solami is a player to keep an eye on. In Little Elm, they lost just about everybody. And that's a growing area over there as well. I was driving through there yesterday as well. Jaden Perrine is a player to keep an eye on for Little Elm at running back. And Prince Igioma is also a safety to keep an eye on for Little Elm. But I'm very curious how they're going to be rebuilding over at Little Elm. It's going to take them a few years to get that system going on. This is their 2nd year with their new coach as well. So their program is developing, but I think they're going to be on the bottom end of this district as well.
You've already kind of told us, but go ahead and shoot me the 1 through 8.
Got McKinney 1, Denton Geyer number 2, Allen number 3, Prosper number 4, Rock Hill number 5, McKinney Boyd number 6, Braswell number 7, and Little Elm number 8. But I think the big cutoff this year is going to be 3 and 4 is not the teams we've expected in the past. We talk about Allen, we talk about Prosper. They've got a lot more questions than they ever had. They're still solid football teams, but I think they have a lot to prove this year. And this district breakdown might give them a little chip on the shoulder to say, hey, Diggs, we will prove you wrong. We're still Allen. We're still Prosper. Don't sleep on us.
My man Diggs, lighting fires. Let's see who can put them out first. All right, we're going to talk 6-6A next week. That's a district that both of us have kids involved in. So we're going
to be fighting next week on a personal level, Ward.
Fisticuffs. We'll have it. Talk to you later.